From Matthew McConaughey potentially replacing Costner as the head honcho, to him being kicked from the series due to drama with the showrunner, there are tons of rumors and details about Yellowstone's future floating around. Starting off with the elephant in the room, is Matthew really set to take over Kevin's role? And well, the answer to that is kind of no. Look, the whole Yellowstone situation has been an absolutely crazy ride recently. There have been tons of accusations levied against the lead actor Kevin Costner, with rumors going around that he doesn't like showing up on set, and that he agreed to only appear on set for 1 week to film the second half of season 2. Things even got worse, since it came out that apparently things aren't the best between Taylor Sheridan and Kevin.
I think the collision right now is just the idea that he's busy and Taylor's busy, and so everyone's sort of in a waiting game.
I know that they're still working on it, is what I'm being told. Working things out with everyone to make sure we shoot, and I'm confident we will. We always have before. I think it's probably a bit of drama over nothing.
In fact, these issues could potentially tear the entire series apart. It was all just rumors and speculation, but then Deadline dropped a report that made everyone realize just how serious this really was. According to their sources, Costner is set to head out in the sunset, and that in place of him, Matthew is going to come in to lead the franchise forward. That's not to say that he's going to be the permanent replacement for Kevin, just the fact that Yellowstone would potentially come to an end, and instead Matthew would star in his own new spin-off series that'd take the story in a new direction, beyond just the Duttons. And guess what? The Paramount Network added its own 2 cents to this situation too. They initially mentioned that they've got no news to report. They also added that Kevin remains a big part of Yellowstone, and they hope that's the case for a long time to come. But of course, the company is always looking to expand and take the story further, and in that regard, they've got the brilliant mind of Taylor Sheridan, who's helping to prep the series up for a future expansion.
And so I look at it, and to me, looking at the modern American West is a really great way to look at ourselves.
This is also when they confirmed that McConaughey is a great talent and someone they'd love to work with.
Look, I would love to. I mean, Matthew, I think, knows Taylor. He's from Texas. He knows this world in a way as well, and I think that's what Taylor demands. He demands that you know horses and you know the land and you know the world that he's creating.
Later, Chris McCarthy, the head of Paramount Media Networks, confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter that the stars linked up for a role in a Yellowstone expansion. And this is something that's going to happen regardless of how things play out with Kevin. It's one of the 10 Taylor Sheridan-led projects that's currently in the works at Paramount. So if you take all that into account, the basic idea is that no, Matthew isn't going to replace Kevin, at least not in the literal sense. While it's possible that Yellowstone may be ending and Kevin may end up leaving the show, Matthew will star in his own series, which doesn't seem like it's going to directly serve as a sequel to Yellowstone. And this was further confirmed by People magazine. A source close to the publication revealed that Matthew and Taylor are huge fans of each other's work, and that they want to join up together for a project, which I suppose we now know is the expansion to Yellowstone. What's more, other people involved in the franchise have also talked about Matthew's involvement. Take, for example, Josh Lucas, who portrays a young John Dutton in flashbacks.
It was incredibly clear that he knew exactly who he wanted to cast, and it was not me for any of those characters. But he did say, like, I have this idea, and I'll get back to you. And a few weeks later, he said, hey, man, can you get on an airplane tomorrow? I want to do some flashbacks.
He added that he's sure Sheridan has great ideas for how these characters merge together.
5 years ago, the show in the 5th season will have a lot of flashbacks. And I thought he was crazy. I didn't think there was ever going to be a 5th season,
Wendy Moniz, who plays Senator Linnell Perry, she also stated that she felt like it made sense when she first heard about it. She felt like Matthew was built for the series in every way. It's clear that the rest of the cast is definitely on board, but let's see if the fans respond in the same way, especially considering all the recent drama going on with the show. It's definitely a bit of a weird situation. A lot of this drama started with Kevin Costner apparently not wanting to work on the series anymore. But again, this is an accusation that his lawyer completely refuted. Marty Singer, who serves as legal counsel for quite a few actors in Hollywood, mentioned that anyone stating that Kevin doesn't work in Yellowstone anymore is outright lying. And the fact is that the star is very much looking forward to working on the second half of season 5.
As you could possibly come to, and you see that though it's just not a opening for shock's sake. It's a storyline that has absolute implications that go beyond. But the art form is also, that has much deeper implications as the episodes wind on.
But the recent reports and rumors that have been coming out definitely seem to indicate something else. According to these, the behind-the-scenes situation at Yellowstone isn't really rainbows and sunshine, and Sheridan and Costner don't even want to work with each other anymore. What makes matters worse, Taylor isn't happy with how all this drama is influencing his ability to work on the remainder of the 5th season. So it's possible that the quality of the upcoming episodes may suffer as a result of all this too. And to make matters even worse, Kevin has been acting in a way that makes it really seem like he's done with Yellowstone. After all, he's been booking one gig after the next. The star was already in hot water for apparently dedicating too much time for his upcoming film Horizon, and not enough for Yellowstone. But get this, he's now decided to take things a step further and is going to head a whole documentary series based on the Wild West. The series is set to look into the time period from a dramatic lens, while staying truthful to the people of the age and their stories. He mentioned that he's in love with the history and all the heroic and harrowing tales that the West has to offer. The documentary will appear on the History Channel and will consist of a whopping 8 episodes. What's more, Kevin is set to be both the host and the executive producer. This means that his schedule is going to be fairly busy, and it makes it seem like his future in Yellowstone seems bleaker and bleaker. It's clear that the star has his priorities elsewhere and is seemingly not interested in the show like he once was. While it's good that he's still working on projects that inspire him, it kind of stinks that all of this comes at the cost of his appearance at Yellowstone. At this point, it may have just been better to have Matthew serve as a proper replacement for him, so that the series could still go on without Kevin Costner holding things up. Because, let's be real, it's high time that the story evolves beyond the Duttons. If you've been watching Yellowstone from the start, you may have noticed that the series is starting to feel a bit repetitive. The story focuses a lot on the Duttons, and after a while, you have to ask yourself how much of the same thing Taylor can expect us to see. If Kevin were to leave the show, that'd open up a new potential avenue for creativity and allow Sheridan to really work and give fans something bold and new. While there's a chance that the final result won't be as great, even so, it's worthwhile to give it a shot because nobody will be interested in reading the same stories repeatedly. Though before any of that happens, I suppose fans will need to see what awaits them in the second part of the 5th season. And while it's set to release this summer, filming has yet to resume, which is definitely troubling to hear.
We were all waiting now for Taylor to deliver the scripts, which is always sort of the thing. You have, like, you know, he's a one-man band. He's so unusual that way. It's all, and it is his story.
The cast who attended Paley Fest confirmed that the second half of the season doesn't even have a date for when it's going to start filming. When you consider all that, it just seems clear that the show may end up getting delayed, and that after all this drama, it may be the final season. But either way, that's all there is to know about Matthew McConaughey replacing Kevin Costner on Yellowstone.